So in today's clip, I'm going to show you how I, and you can too, save a heap of time by screening or filtering out all the stocks that don't fit your criteria in order for you to take a trade. So here we are on the TradingView platform, and this is what I'm going to show you to build. So when it comes to trading, there can be a few ways to trade. You can be a conservative trader, meaning that you go against the sentiment of the market. You can be a trend trader, means you go with the trend of the market. Or you can be a counter trader, which means you're looking for a reversal to take a counter trade in the opposite direction. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to create a screener for a counter trader. And I believe probably counter trading, when it comes to trading, is a little bit easier to learn than trend trading. So in order for me to take a trade, the stock's got to be worth more than $10. It's also got to have a lot of volatility, meaning it's got to have a lot of volume. So it's got to have probably at least 1 million shares traded a day on average over the last probably 90 days. Also, it's got to be more than $1 billion market cap. And you also need to have a little bit of pre-market volume. And another thing that I like to look for is the pre-market gap. As I'm counter trading, I like to look for a gap of more than probably 4 to 5% pre-market. So in this clip, I'm going to show you how I build the screener for that sort of trading. So here we are on the TradingView homepage. So the first thing you want to do is go across to products, go down to screeners, go across to the right to stocks, click on stocks, and I'll just clean this up by clicking on these 3 dots here, and I'll remove all filters. So now we can start from scratch. We just want to make sure we're on US markets, which we are. And now we'll add the first filter, which is going to be price. So click on this box here. And in here, you want to type price. Scroll down, click on price. Once you've got that there, you just click on that little arrow. You go to the bottom. And I like to trade, like I said, all stocks that have a value of more than $10 per share. So in here, just put $10. And then that's your first filter. The second filter we're going to add is going to be the market cap. So we're going to click on here and just type in here market cap. Here it is here. Click on this one. And I like to trade stocks that have a market cap of more than $1 billion. So what you do is just go down to the bottom here, click on that. And in this one here, you just put a 1 and a capital B, 1 billion. The next filter I'm going to add is going to be the average volume. So if I click on here, just click in here, average volume. Here we are, average volume, click on that. So the average volume over the last 90 days has to be more than 1 million shares traded daily. So you want to click on 90 days, and then you want to add the filter. Once you've done that, you click on the arrow, and here you just put in a 1 and a capital M. Now, the next filter we're going to add is going to be the pre-market gap. So just type in here, pre-market, and you'll see pre-market gap appears there. Once you've got this filter, I like to trade, as I'm counter trading, I like it to have moved more than at least 4%. So if we click on here and we go to the bottom, we just add a little plus 4. The next filter you want to have up there is going to be the pre-market volume. So just same thing in here, and you'll see pre-market volume. So just click on that, and that's up to you. I like to usually have it at around 50K, so 50K. Or sometimes I might not even have this filter on, so I can just leave this empty. So what we're going to do now is save it. So just click save. So you've got your 4 filters up there, and then you've got your pre-market volume if you need it. So what we'll do now is just rename it. So if you click on here and you want to rename, so you want to rename it something like pre-market gap up more than 4%. Once you do that, rename it, pre-market gap up more than 4%. So you can add that to your toolbar. So when you turn your computer off, you just click on it and this will appear. And what I normally do, if you just duplicate this And all you have to do for the gap down is change this one here. Go to the bottom, below, and in here just put a -4. So a little minus sign, -4. And then you want to change this one here. I save it, sorry. Then rename it. You want to name it something like pre-market gap down more than 4%. So just click in there. Sorry. Pre-market gap down more than 4%. So you save that. So now you've got your two screeners. You've got your gap up and you've got your gap down. And you also want to make sure you've got it on extended hours. Extended hours. All right, thanks very much for watching the video, the clip, and I hope it saves you some time. Thank you. So just keep this in mind when you are counter trading, and I will make a whole clip on this, right? But if you're going to take a short position, you don't want something to be beaten down and it's made a 4 or 5% move up to counter trade it back down again. You want it to be at the top end of the charts on the daily chart, so that if you're going to take a short position and it's gapped up, at least there's a lot of room for it to come down. When you're trying to take a short position and something might have gapped up 4 or 5%, even 10%, but when it's beaten down and it's at the lows of the chart, there's not really much more that it can fall, and vice versa. When you're taking a long position, so meaning you're looking for something that's dumped down, you don't want something to be at all-time highs, dumped down 5% to take a long position. I'm going to make a whole clip on this, so just keep that in mind when you're counter trading. I hope you enjoyed this clip, and I look forward to making the next one.